Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of WGSS 340 Gender and Science. So I just have a few reminders and things I wanted to touch base with you about, and then I will let you get on with your week. The main thing I wanted to let you know is I do have some summary videos on the readings this week. I made them a few terms ago, well, maybe close to a year ago now, just to sort of help you out because it's a pretty heavy reading week, and I really want you to spend time in that Harvard debate this week, especially looking in the Harvard debate, looking at the section that Elizabeth Spilkey is doing her part. Starts at around 50 minutes in and goes to an hour and 30 minutes in. Please watch all of that. I'm not necessarily worried about the debate, like who's right, who's wrong, but Elizabeth Spilkey does a great job of summarizing the research that's out there, especially looking at the ways that perception influences our gender identity and the ways that we do gender. And you're going to need this for the quiz, and I'll be able to tell if you've watched the video and taken notes while you've watched. So please make sure that you do that. She just does a really nice job. Sorry, my hair's bugging me. She does a really nice job of covering a wide range of research and looking very carefully at things that we tend not to pay attention to. And part of that is when we see that there's a gender difference in the way that men's and women's brains work, and especially when we're working just on that binary right there, we've got some issues because we're not taking into account any variation. We're saying this is a group, men, this is a group, women, and we're not taking into account anything that is in between or different, and that is a problem right there. But we do see differences in the brain of people of different genders, and we then assume that that means that they were born that way, that those differences are inherent, that they come from conception on. When what new research is showing is that that may not be the case, that our experience actually does change the way our brains grow and develop, so that the physical manifestation of our brain is actually changed by the experience and then will be different because it's changed. I know I'm making a lot of sense. And that very, very early on, even when we think we're being very gender neutral with our children, very, very early on, we see that parents and others actually treat children of different genders differently and have different perceptions of what that child is experiencing or why they're behaving a certain way based on our understanding of what their gender is. For example, one of the studies she talks about, it shows where people were shown, and these people were shown pictures of a child they didn't know, and you couldn't tell what gender it was. It was maybe a year old. Couldn't tell what gender it was based on its clothing or anything else. And one group was told its name was a masculine name, so the assumption was it was a boy. And the other, or maybe it was just flat out told this is a little boy. And the other group was told it was a girl. And the exact same picture, or maybe it was a little video, of this little child being startled by a jack-in-the-box that pops out. And the child, of course, has an emotional reaction to it. And significantly more of the group that thought that this child was a boy said that that child was angry. They were asked what emotion the child was exhibiting. The child was angry if it was a boy. If it was a girl, the child was scared. Exact same child, exact same visual image. The only difference is the perception of what gender the child is. And that's just one example of the many studies that she pulls out. Another that is very startling and quite scary and not unique was one done with faculty members of established, well-known research institutions. And they were given a curriculum vitae, a fancy resume of a possible candidate for a professorship. And one group told it was a man, one group told it was a woman. Same kind of thing. For the really totally impressive CVs, for the people who were just complete rock stars, it didn't seem to matter if it was a man or a woman in terms of whether that person would have been recommended for a job. But in the pretty good range of CVs of applicants, it absolutely did matter. If it was a man, this person's research was considered better, their teaching experience was considered better. They were much more often to be recommended for hiring than and once again, the exact same curriculum vitae, the exact same experience, the exact same everything. The only difference is what gender it's perceived as. So, and this is college higher ups in really fancy educational institutions that are letting their perceptions influence their decision making. And so that's something to really be thinking about. How does perception influence behavior? So, the Harvard debate. Watch, especially from 50 minutes in to 1 minute or 1 hour and 30 minutes in, especially thinking about the idea of perception and how that influences us. All right. I think that's it for this week. I'm pretty sure I don't have any other reminders for you. If I do, I will message them to you. Please email me if you have any questions, and have a great week.